If you are a recipient of Social Security benefits, please pause for a moment and give this your immediate attention. Commencing April 15th, the Social Security Administration is implementing a significant policy modification, and millions of older adults across the nation are unaware it is coming. We are referring to adjustments that could directly influence how you obtain your payments, how you confirm your identity, and the repercussions if you miss the designated time frame. This is not political rhetoric. These are not alarmist tactics. This is an actual, verified policy alteration, and the SSA is not dispatching an individual reminder to every beneficiary. This implies that if you depend on Social Security for your retirement earnings, disability support, or survivor disbursements, the onus of action rests with you. In this video, we will thoroughly explain precisely what has changed, who is impacted, the steps you must undertake before April 15th, and what might occur if you do not. We have conducted the necessary investigation so you do not have to decipher confusing governmental terminology independently. Whether you are already collecting support or assisting a parent or dear one in navigating Social Security matters, this information is too crucial to disregard. Should you find this beneficial, and we are confident you will, kindly press the thumbs up button without delay. It takes merely 1 second and assists us in delivering this vital information to every senior who requires it. Now let us proceed. Now, prior to delving into the details, I'm Olivia, and this is American Dream Route. This channel exists for one singular purpose: to guarantee you possess the necessary information to safeguard yourself, your earnings, and your prospects. We do not engage in sensationalism. We do not employ fear-mongering. What we do is distill the complex, the perplexing, and the utterly challenging realm of government directives and simplify it so that each one of you can comprehend it, act upon it, and derive advantage from it. And today, the subject at hand is absolutely essential. Therefore, please remain with me until the very conclusion, because every segment of this discussion holds importance. Let us commence at the absolute beginning. The Social Security Administration, commonly known as the SSA, has been operating according to established procedures for numerous decades. For countless Americans, particularly retirees and those reliant on fixed incomes, Social Security is not merely a payment. It constitutes the fundamental basis of financial stability. It covers rental expenses. It ensures utilities remain active. It procures necessary medications. It represents the consistent monthly financial lifeline upon which tens of millions of older adults throughout this nation depend without interruption, without question, and without failure. Consequently, when that agency institutes a change, any change, it merits your full and undivided attention. And the modification slated for April 15th is far from trivial. What the SSA has announced is a substantial revision in its approach to identity verification for all recipients. And I wish to be exceedingly clear about the implications, as much of the information you may have encountered online has been either unclear or incomplete. This is not about your benefit amount being altered. It is not about eligibility being rescinded from individuals who are entitled to it. This pertains to the procedure, the method by which the SSA confirms your identity, authenticates your persona, and maintains your account. And in the contemporary digital era we inhabit, that procedure is undergoing a comprehensive overhaul that impacts every single individual receiving Social Security benefits. Here is the essential context you need to grasp regarding why this is occurring. Over the past several years, fraudulent activities involving Social Security have become an immense and escalating concern. Criminals, and we are referring to sophisticated organized criminal enterprises, not merely isolated malicious individuals, have been exploiting vulnerabilities within the SSA's identity authentication systems to illicitly obtain benefits, divert payments, and establish fraudulent accounts. The financial losses have amounted to hundreds of millions of dollars. Legitimate beneficiaries have experienced theft of their payments. Bona fide seniors have been compelled to exert considerable effort to prove their identities, while perpetrators unlawfully appropriated their funds. The SSA, in conjunction with the broader federal government, determined that this situation could not persist, and as a result, they developed a new system, which is now being progressively introduced starting April 15th. The new system is centered around what is termed enhanced identity verification, and the primary mechanism being utilized is known as ID.me. Now, it is possible you have already encountered ID.me if you have attempted to access certain government internet portals or benefit platforms. It is a third-party identity validation service that the federal government has been progressively integrating into an increasing number of its services in recent years. Its function is to confirm your stated identity through a combination of your government-issued identification, biometric data such as facial recognition, and document scanning. The underlying principle is that this creates a significantly more formidable challenge for fraudsters, because while criminals can steal your social security number, they cannot as readily replicate your facial features or generate a perfect replica of your driver's license in real time. Now, I can already anticipate the thoughts of some among you. You might be contemplating, hold on a moment, I am 73 years old. I do not engage with facial recognition technology. I do not wish for a computer to scan my face. My benefits were established years ago and everything functions perfectly. Why must I undertake any of these steps? And that is an entirely reasonable and understandable sentiment. The frustration is palpable, and I wish to address it directly. The SSA has placed millions of individuals in a situation where they must now navigate a novel digital process, often with limited guidance or assistance. This circumstance is not ideal. However, the reality is that as of April 15th, this is the prevailing direction of developments, and the repercussions of not participating can be severe. So, let us detail precisely the actions you need to perform, step by step, to ensure you are completely prepared. Firstly, let us discuss who is impacted by this and in what manner. If you are already receiving Social Security benefits and possess an active and verified My Social Security online account, your immediate situation differs from someone who lacks any online account whatsoever. For those of you with existing operational My Social Security accounts, the transition may necessitate re-verification of your identity through the updated system, but it is improbable you will encounter an immediate interruption to your benefits. For those who have never established a My Social Security account, and there are many such individuals, as numerous people receive their benefits via mail or direct deposit without ever needing to access an online portal, this change is more pressing. This is because, going forward, many SSA services previously accessible by telephone or by visiting a local office will become increasingly reliant on online access and verified digital identity. Let us also address the SSA's physical office situation, as this provides crucial context. The SSA has been operating under substantial budgetary constraints for many years. Staffing levels have been reduced. Wait times at local field offices have become protracted. Phone hold durations have gained a notorious reputation for being agonizingly long. Some callers endure waits exceeding an hour merely to converse with a representative. In such an environment, encouraging individuals towards online self-service options offers financial and logistical advantages for the agency, even if it presents difficulties for the very people it serves. And that emphasis is precisely what this April 15th change signifies. The SSA desires more transactions, more verifications, and more account management to occur online, as this lessens the burden on their overloaded telephone lines and field offices. Comprehending this background helps you understand why this change is happening now and its immense importance. So, what are the specific measures you should undertake before April 15th? Let us review this meticulously. The very first action you should take, indeed the paramount first step, is to visit the official Social Security Administration website. The web address is ssa.gov. It is imperative that this is not a website that merely resembles the SSA's site, nor a sponsored search result. It must be the authentic official government website, which is ssa.gov. Once you arrive there, locate the section designated My Social Security. This represents your individual online account with the SSA. If you already possess one, proceed to log in and confirm that your contact information, particularly your email address and telephone number, is current. These details will be indispensable for identity verification and account recovery should any issues arise. If you do not have a My Social Security account, you must create one, and I wish to guide you through the intricacies of that process to prevent any surprise or unpreparedness. To establish a My Social Security account, you will be required to furnish some fundamental personal details: your name, your Social Security number, your birth date, and your mailing address. You will also need a valid email address and a phone number capable of receiving text messages or calls, as the SSA employs two-factor authentication to safeguard your account. Upon providing your basic information, you will be prompted to confirm your identity. This is where the updated process becomes relevant. The SSA is now directing individuals toward two options for identity verification. The first is through ID.me, the third-party platform I previously mentioned. The second is via login.gov, which serves as the federal government's own centralized sign-in system for governmental websites. Both of these platforms will request you to upload or photograph a government-issued photo identification, most typically your driver's license or your state-issued ID card, and subsequently perform a selfie or undergo a video verification procedure to ascertain that you are indeed the individual whose face appears on the identification. If you are comfortable executing this independently, the process generally spans between 10 and 30 minutes, contingent on the seamlessness of the technology and your familiarity with smartphones or computers. Now, I understand that for many of you, that procedure sounds formidable, and I wish to be forthright. It is not consistently smooth. ID.me, in particular, has garnered substantial criticism over the years for its difficulty of use, especially for elderly Americans, individuals in rural regions with suboptimal internet connections, and persons with disabilities. The facial recognition element, specifically, can pose challenges if the ambient illumination in your location is insufficient or if the camera on your device is not functioning optimally. However, there exists an alternative option. Both ID.me and login.gov provide the capability to verify your identity via a video call with an actual human being if the automated process proves unsuccessful. That alternative generally requires a longer duration. Occasionally, scheduling an appointment will be necessary, but it is indeed available. And if you are encountering difficulties with the automated procedure, please recognize that you are not without recourse. There is also an important alternative for individuals who prefer not to, or are unable to, manage the online verification process whatsoever. You may visit your local Social Security field office in person and have your identity verified there. Personnel at field offices are equipped to assist you with establishing an account and completing the verification procedure. Should you choose this option, please bring a valid government-issued photo identification and your Social Security card, if available. Be prepared for potential waiting periods, as field offices are typically busy. If feasible, it is advisable to telephone in advance or utilize the SSA's website to schedule an appointment before your visit. This measure will conserve a considerable amount of your time. Now let us discuss a matter that many individuals find perplexing, and that is the option of conducting business via telephone. For years, if you needed to undertake any action concerning your Social Security account, such as updating your address, modifying your direct deposit information, or posing a question about your benefits, you could contact the SSA's 800 number and resolve the matter over the phone. Under the new regulations taking effect April 15th, this facility is becoming more circumscribed. The SSA has declared that certain sensitive account alterations, particularly modifications to your direct deposit information, will no longer be processable via telephone without a verified online account. This measure is specifically designed to counteract the fraud I alluded to earlier, where criminals would telephone the SSA, impersonate a beneficiary, and amend the direct deposit details to divert payments to their own accounts. Moving forward, the SSA aims to link these types of sensitive changes to an authenticated identity, rather than simply someone on the phone who possesses your Social Security number and your mother's maiden name. What this implies in practical terms is that if you have not established a verified online account and you need to adjust your direct deposit, for instance, if you change banks or open a new checking account, you may now be required to either perform that action online with a verified account or visit a field office in person. You can no longer simply report it over the phone. And this holds immense significance because millions of older adults change banks, update their accounts, or manage banking transitions every single year. Comprehending this constraint now before you find yourself in a pressing situation is exceptionally important. Allow me also to speak directly to a group of individuals I know are observing this video, adult children and family members who assist in managing Social Security affairs for an elderly parent or a cherished one who may be experiencing health challenges, mobility restrictions, or cognitive difficulties that impede their independent management of personal matters. If you are in such a circumstance, the April 15th modifications impact you as well, and there are specific facts you need to be aware of. If you are already a representative payee for a beneficiary, meaning the SSA has officially recognized you as the individual responsible for managing their benefits, your role and your access are not being rescinded. However, the SSA is increasingly mandating representative payees to manage accounts online, and the identity verification stipulations also apply to you in your capacity as payee. If you informally assist a parent or a dear one, meaning you are present with them and help them navigate telephone calls or paperwork, but you are not formally designated as their representative, you may find it progressively difficult to act on their behalf without official authorization. This presents an opportune moment to engage in a discussion with your family regarding whether a formal representative payee arrangement or a durable power of attorney is advisable. A durable power of attorney, specifically, is a potent legal instrument that empowers you to act on behalf of another individual in financial and legal capacities, and it can significantly streamline the management of situations such as this. If your loved one does not already possess one, consulting with an elder law attorney about establishing one sooner rather than later is genuinely beneficial. Now, I wish to step back and address a broader concern, as I believe it is important. There has been considerable apprehension within the senior community recently, and justifiably so, concerning the future of Social Security itself. Inquiries about its financial stability, questions regarding potential benefit reductions, and concerns about whether the agency is adequately staffed and funded to serve the millions of people who rely on it. I acknowledge those anxieties, and I wish to address them candidly and directly because you merit straightforward responses, not ambiguous assurances. Social Security indeed faces substantial long-term funding challenges. The program's fiduciaries have predicted for years that, absent legislative intervention, the trust funds that finance benefits could be exhausted within approximately the next decade, which would, under current law, trigger automatic benefit curtailments. That is a genuine concern, and it demands serious consideration from Congress. However, and this point is critical, the April 15th identity verification changes are not intended as a mechanism to reduce benefits or remove individuals from the rolls. That is not the purpose of this initiative. Individuals who have been disseminating that notion online are either misinformed or, in certain instances, intentionally misleading you. The verification adjustments are focused on security, not eligibility. If you are presently entitled to Social Security benefits and you successfully complete the verification process, your benefits will persist. The objective of this modification is to safeguard your benefits from fraud, not to withdraw them. That being stated, I do wish to acknowledge that the manner in which these changes have been communicated, or in numerous instances not communicated, by the SSA has been profoundly insufficient. Millions of individuals received no direct notification regarding these changes whatsoever. No postal letter, no telephone call, no electronic mail. Many people only became aware through news reports, social media, or informational videos like this one. And this constitutes a failing on the part of the agency. Individuals who depend on a vital income program deserve clear, proactive communication when that program undergoes significant procedural modifications. The SSA has work to accomplish in that regard, and if you hold strong convictions about this matter, contacting your elected representatives, your senator, or your congressperson, and informing them that communication from the SSA requires improvement is absolutely within your rights and genuinely merits doing. Let us also address scams, because whenever a governmental policy change garners considerable attention, fraudulent individuals emerge, and they are already actively exploiting this April 15th deadline. Here is the information you need to safeguard yourself. The authentic SSA will never telephone you and solicit your Social Security number over the phone. Reflect on that for a moment. They already possess your number. If someone telephones you purporting to be from the Social Security Administration and requests that you provide your Social Security number, your bank account details, or any payment to avert an issue with your benefits, terminate the call immediately. That is a fraudulent scheme. The genuine SSA does not demand payment to prevent a suspension of benefits. The real SSA does not threaten arrest for non-payment. These are deceptive tactics employed by criminals to intimidate older Americans into surrendering money or personal information. Similarly, if you receive an email claiming to originate from the SSA and urging you to click a link to verify your account before April 15th or risk losing your benefits, exercise extreme caution. The SSA does transmit some official emails, but they will consistently direct you to ssa.gov, the official website, never to a third-party site or a link that appears slightly suspicious. If you are uncertain whether a communication is legitimate, the safest course of action is to close the email, open a new browser window, type sa.gov directly into the address bar, and access your account from there. Never click on links in emails when it pertains to your Social Security account. Allow me to also address a matter that has frequently arisen in discussions within our community: the concern of digital access and equity. Not everyone possesses a smartphone, not everyone has a dependable internet connection, not everyone is proficient with computers, and it is entirely inappropriate to construct a critical governmental system in a manner that marginalizes these individuals. The SSA has affirmed that in-person and telephone options will remain available as alternatives for those unable to complete the online verification process. And I wish for you to understand that if you find yourself in that situation, you possess rights and available choices. Do not allow anyone to make you feel that because you lack a tablet or are unfamiliar with performing a video selfie, you are somehow without recourse. You are not. Visit your local field office. Dial the SSA's 800 number and specifically inquire about alternatives to online verification. If you require an accommodation due to a disability or limited access to technology, state this explicitly. The SSA is obligated to furnish reasonable accommodations. Now, permit me to present a comprehensive checklist of actions to undertake before April 15th, and I intend to review this slowly and clearly. Number 1, visit ssa.gov and ascertain whether you possess an active My Social Security account. If so, log in, confirm that your email address and telephone number are current, and verify that your direct deposit information is accurate. Number 2, if you do not have a My Social Security account, proceed to create one. This can be accomplished online at ssa.gov, or you may attend a field office in person for assistance. Number 3, complete the identity verification process either through id.me or login.gov. Ensure your driver's license or state identification is ready, and conduct the photo or video component in a well-illuminated area. Number 4, if you are assisting an elderly parent or a cherished one, check their account status and aid them in completing verification if necessary. Number 5, if you depend on telephone communication to make alterations to your Social Security account, be aware that sensitive changes such as updating direct deposit details will increasingly necessitate verified online access. Plan accordingly. Number 6, remain vigilant against fraudulent schemes. No legitimate SSA communication will ever demand immediate payment or threaten your benefits if you do not act within minutes. There is one additional point I wish to address before we conclude, and it is a matter that has received relatively scant attention in mainstream reports concerning these modifications. It pertains to beneficiaries who receive their Social Security not through retirement but via disability, specifically Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, and Supplemental Security Income, SSI. For individuals in these programs, the identity verification requirements apply identically, but the ramifications can be even more pronounced because many individuals with disabilities have conditions that render navigating technology particularly challenging. Visual impairments, cognitive conditions, severe mobility limitations, these represent genuine obstacles to successfully completing an online identity verification process. The SSA does offer accessibility tools and accommodations, but these require you to specifically request them. If you or someone you know is receiving SSDI or SSI and requires assistance in managing this process, please reach out to your local SSA field office, contact a local disability rights organization, or investigate resources from the National Council on Aging, which has been actively working to support older adults and individuals with disabilities through this transition. I also wish to acknowledge the broader psychological stress that moments such as this inevitably generate. When your income is fixed, when your Social Security check determines whether you can meet your financial obligations, any uncertainty or disruption to that income is genuinely alarming, and that apprehension is not irrational. It is the entirely reasonable reaction of someone who has dedicated their entire life to diligent work, contributed to this system for decades, and now simply requires it to function without interruption. My message to you is this: you are not without agency here. You possess information, you have available choices, and you have time right now before April 15th to take proactive measures and safeguard your benefits. And that is precisely what we encourage you to do. Utilize the resources accessible to you. Communicate with your family members. If you have a trusted friend or a grandchild who is comfortable with technology, request their assistance. Visit your local library. Many libraries employ staff who can aid older adults with digital tasks. Go to your local SSA field office if you require in-person support, and please continue watching videos like this one and sharing them with the individuals in your life who need this information, because the more informed our community is, the greater the protection afforded to everyone. Before we finalize today's discussion, I wish to address one of the most frequently asked questions we receive, which is, what occurs if I fail to meet the April 15th deadline? What if I am traveling or managing a health issue, or simply did not become aware of this in time? The truthful response is that missing the deadline does not automatically signify your benefits will cease on April 16th. The SSA has procedures in place for bringing individuals into compliance even after a deadline has passed. However, procrastination does introduce risk, particularly concerning your ability to execute account changes or access certain services until verification is completed. The sooner you attend to it, the better. Do not postpone this task. There is no valid justification to delay. If you have already finalized your identity verification and your My Social Security account is in proper order, you can experience a degree of relief but still monitor for any official communications from the SSA and ensure your contact information remains current, because this is an evolving situation and there may be subsequent modifications or requirements in the future. And that, honestly, is the overarching message here. Social Security is not a static program. It adapts, its regulations shift, its procedures change, and the most effective action you can take for yourself, the single most empowering measure, is to remain informed. Watch videos such as this one. Periodically check SA.gov. Enroll for official communications from the SSA if feasible, and if anything feels amiss, pose questions. You possess every right to comprehend how your benefits operate and what is necessitated of you to maintain their uninterrupted flow. We intend to continue covering every development in this narrative as it unfolds. If there are updates following April 15th, whether matters proceed smoothly or if challenges require attention, we will be present to report on it and assist you in navigating it. That is our unwavering commitment to this community, and we treat it with utmost seriousness. Thank you immensely for watching today. Please disseminate this video to every older adult in your life, a parent, a neighbor, a friend, anyone who receives Social Security benefits. They require this information. And if you have not already done so, please press that like button immediately, subscribe to this channel, and activate the notification bell so you never miss an update. Because in this current environment, staying informed is not merely advantageous, it is imperative. Take care of yourselves, attend to one another, and we will encounter you in the subsequent video.